Interesting to see how the track does play. Trademaster becoming a little uppity inside the gates. Settles. They're ready. White flashes, racing. Homeline stood there flat-footed in the gates and missed it by about 4. Snow Bamboo didn't jump all that well either. And back there in the field is Western Rhythm. Beryl's Joy was the first to leave over Mr. Delegator, however. And it'll go up looking for the front shortly after. Jono kicking up on the inside and closely followed by Hinch and Rail. 1.5 Fade to Grey. Trademaster, Soul Express down on the inside of that pair. 900 from home ahead of Western Rhythm and Snow Bamboo. And a length and a half away last of all after making a mess of the start. His Homeline. Mr. Delegator cruises to the front now, and as they work out to the side, he settles well for Nucky. Mr. Delegator out by 3/4. Hinch and Rail taking closer order. Fade to Grey though tramping 3 deep around them. Back on the inside, Beryl's Joy. He's now come off the fence with Jono. He's got into the 1 wide line and following Hinch and Rail. Then Trademaster, who's out 3 deep following Fade to Grey. Soul Express down on the inside is hemmed away with Western Rhythm. Back there is Homeline with Snow Bamboo. At the top of the straight, 3.75 to go. Mr. Delegator challenged now by Hinch and Rail. They've kicked 3 in front of Jono. Fade to Grey. Trademaster. Western Rhythm is starting to work home pretty well. At the 200, Mr. Delegator still in front. Hinch and Rail. Here's Western Rhythm. Jono can't go on. Western Rhythm looming up to Mr. Delegator. Hinch and Rail between them. Mr. Delegator. Western Rhythm though got the head in front, and as they reach the line, it's a tight go. Western Rhythm diving at Mr. Delegator. He may have got it, but there's not a lot in it with Hinch and Rail between them. Trademaster is next home. Jono only just ground away. Snow Bamboo, Soul Express were next home. Fade to Grey, Beryl's Joy, and whipping them all in is Homeline as we wait for the numbers. It'll get the verdict. Western Rhythm, 11, William Pike. Western Rhythm has grabbed Mr. Delegator right on the post. Not a margin really between them, a great one, but enough just to get him home there. Western Rhythm, or the filly at least, by Sessions, and she's been able to haul in Mr. Delegator in the absolute last stride. Hinch and Rail between them, and we're waiting on 4th. So it does make amends, redeeming itself despite the drift, $1.95 to $3.10. Settling back, but running on well. It was a good run first up in a 1200. May well have needed that before going into the 14 and appearing just a little flat on the day. But the Sessions filly from Beyond the Mist, trained by Brock Luthwaite, handled there by William Pike, bounces back. So does Mr. Delegator, who was certainly better suited there at the 1400. After working its way to the lead, getting cut down right on the line by Machino from Magna Cat, trained by Tiana Robertson, with Peter Nucky in the saddle, and Hinch and Rail by Hinchinbrook from Marinda for Dan and Ben Pearce, and ridden by Jared Noski. Number 3, Trademaster, finished in 4th place, and Jono was just flat. Took a little bump from the eventual winner at about the 175 mark, but wasn't doing enough to win the race at that particular stage, that is for sure. Short half head, long head margins, 127.74 being the time and 36.70 the sectional thereafter this victory of Western Rhythm. The next event, race 2, the Tab Touch Better Your Bet plate over the 1400 metres and a clear of scratchings. The Pont of Paul Harvey, though, will be on 6, Holy Enchantment. We'll take you down now into the yard as William Pike calls for someone to come across, and we'll go down and catch up there with Britt Taylor in the meantime.
Thanks very much, Darren. I have Brock Luthwaite with me. And Brock, last start, obviously, a beaten favourite. How did you come here today on the back of 2 placings for her first 2 career starts?
Yeah, I really just wanted to replicate the conditions that were a trial and a first up run. So I just picked today because it was going to be probably the wettest day of the week. And I'm really glad I got the good soft track.
And is that a key for her, that she particularly likes these soft tracks?
So far, yeah. And for Sessions in general. Sessions had a good run the last month, and I think that'll probably be the softer tracks.
A wide gate today. Obviously, when you've got William Pike aboard, you don't really need to give too many instructions, but was the plan always just to go back? Yeah, that's right. She had a wide barrier in her first run, which was the better run, so I looked forward to going back again, and that was the winning ingredient, I think. What can we expect from her throughout the rest of the campaign? The margin wasn't entirely flattering, so I'll speak to William and the connections. It's only her first prep. She's probably done enough. Maybe one more, but she's probably done enough. Congratulations on the win. Thanks, Brett. Brock Luthwaite after the victory of Western Rhythm. He mentioned there it was only a small margin, but she's been able to get the maiden victory on the board. And William Pike comes in now, and he's going to have a chat with Brock Luthwaite. So Scott will miss catching up with him, but Western Rhythm takes out the first race here, the Western Race Picks maiden.